It is that time again, and yes, there's time that we meet our stars. And today we have our heroine, or I can say the star that we have today is none other than the Kenya Lionesses, Sinaida Aura, who was outstanding at the Africa Cup Sevens in Tunisia last weekend, where Kenya booked a berth in the Commonwealth Games despite losing to South Africa. Sinaida, welcome to Capital FM.
Thank you, Aleki.
How has it been since you guys jetted in back? There's the jet lag. Potelea mbali ama bado, you still having those hangovers after South Africa denied you a chance to qualify for the World Cup?
I have moved on personally, resting just to resume training and work towards a better performance in the Commonwealth.
Take us back to Tunisia. How was it? Because the match against South Africa, of course, it was expected that you're going to meet South Africa in the final, the fourth one in a row. But we nearly beat them. Leading 12-5 at halftime. It didn't go our way when they came back. Maybe what was the problem?
I would say that experience-wise, that's the only aspects by which they beat us with, because their mental strength, I feel like, was on another level. Yeah, because through the game, they were constantly on 100%, you know. And for us, we had a few moments where we dipped, which I feel cost us. But still, we gave our all. Yeah.
You scored that goal that gave the Kenya Lionesses back to that game, a 5-5 to level the scores. Maybe can you take us through that, your outstanding performance and the goal that we scored way up to the finals against Morocco in the quarterfinals, against Tunisia in the semi-finals?
I would say that when you're playing, it really doesn't matter. All that matters is being a team player. All that matters is playing your part and playing your role. And for me, as a winger, I'm considered to be a finisher. So basically, I was just doing what was expected of me. So really, actually, it's until we got home that I realized the weight of my performance personally and as a team. But really, during the games, all I could think about as a player was to deliver on what was expected of me. Yeah.
Booking a Commonwealth spot and losing a World Cup spot, is it a disappointment or is it an achievement now that you're going to play in, I think, the second most prestigious tournament after the World Cup, that is next year in Glasgow in Australia?
I won't sugarcoat it. We wanted all of it. Yes. But as the saying goes, mtaka yote ukosa yote. So, however, we were grateful for the fact that at least we had Commonwealth. Although just missing out on the World Cup, it really tore us, because by the time we were jetting to Tunisia, our focus was, we want World Cup, we want Commonwealth. We're not going for anything less, you know. So just losing to South Africa, it hit hard. Yeah.
Take us to the semi-final. That is Kenya Lionesses versus Tunisia. It was a bit scary when it was 7-7 at halftime. Was it a worry for you guys, and what motivated you to come back and actually beat Tunisia by a very big margin and qualify for the finals?
I can confidently say that we are better off than Tunisia, considering the tournaments we've been to. They haven't, and Tunisia wanasumbua sana. I think you saw. Our two, they just spoil calculations. And going into that game, we really wanted to get to the finals. And I think for a moment, we were more focused on getting to the finals before even dealing with what was at hand. And it gave us unnecessary pressure. But then we recouped and we settled and got back into the game. And we beat them.
What are the lessons that the Kenya Lionesses picked from Tunisia in that two-day tournament that you're coming here back, sit down, regroup, and work for it? When you go to the Commonwealth Games, when we go to pick the Kenya Lionesses at the airport, they carrying that Commonwealth Games trophy.
Our major take-home was that, given that everyone plays their part, in the pitch and off the pitch, which includes a training, you know, when we have our targets set for us by the management, you hit your targets. Just getting there, it showed us that when we all put our heart to it and we are all committed to performing the roles expected of us in the pitch and just keeping positive minds, we can achieve anything.
Any possibility of the Kenya Lionesses playing the prestigious HSBC Women's World Series? Because it is a dream for any rugby player to play in that tournament.
Yes, not the coming season because we had the qualifiers in April, and unfortunately we didn't make it past the quarterfinals, but we will get there soon. Yeah.
Tell us a bit, the Kenyan rugby now, the game of it here at the in Kenya. Does the Kenya Rugby Union or even the management appreciate the women's sevens or the women's 15s for that matter? Because we don't see much of the women's game being developed in our country. Does that cause an alarm for you, the players, as you come back now, you don't have any clubs to go, or we wait for a tournament to go and play for?
I would correct you and tell you that they're actually doing a good job because now we have many clubs. There's Mwamba, we have Northern Suburbs, which is with KCB, we have Homeboys, we have Nakuru, we have Impala. You know, we have Black Blood, we have USIU. Even the universities are now growing their own teams. So looking down into development, the rugby union is really trying because you find that even from the last tournament, we had the call-up was really deep because we also had a development side, which has never happened before. It's just usually like maybe let's to say senior players, but now we have young players, you know, players aging up to 17 years. That shows that there is growth. And we also have a women's league for 10s because the numbers are not that much, so we can't have a 15s women's league. Though we have a franchise which clubs combine for the numbers. So I would say that it may not seem like anything is happening, but it is. The only thing is that for women, we don't get the same mileage the men get. You know, a guy will not spend his Sunday to come and watch a women's game, but he would rather spend his Saturday or Friday to come and watch a man's game. So that's the only difference.
What are the challenges that the women's team face, and what will you recommend that should be done to raise our women's game to another level, maybe to at least be in the par, or not the same as South Africa, at least be where they are?
I would say that I would urge our investors or sponsors to take that risk because I feel like people are quite reserved because they're like, you know, women, you know, what are they bringing? But based on our performance, like for the past 4 or 5 tournaments, we've really flown our flag high. You know, we've given our all. And I feel like if just a few more sponsors or, you know, investors would just have that little faith in us and just, you know, put in something, you know, to improve something, then in return, we'll definitely give our all because we're already giving our all with the little we have. So if we get more, then nothing will be holding us back. Yeah.
Maybe what does Sinaida Aura do in her free time apart from playing rugby? Outside the pitch, who's Sinaida Aura?
Outside the pitch, Sinaida is a bubbly person who just loves to interact with people. And I'm also a fitness trainer. My partner and I have a farm that focuses on personal training, and it's called Simba Health. And yeah, basically, that's where my heart is, and that's where most of my time goes. And I also volunteer with a rugby foundation called Shamas to train kids from the slums, just to keep them from those bad habits and just to show them that they could hope for something in the future. Yeah.
Finally, what's your message to that lady, to that young girl who wants to be like Sinaida Aura, to come and play for rugby, and maybe she is scared to come and join this game that is seen of being physical and for men? What's your parting shot and a message to that girl there?
My parting shot would be, if you really want it, you will go for it. Don't be scared. Remember, all those hits we take, you're like, oh, sijui, kuvunjika, we are prepared for it, you know. And just being realistic, unaweza hata trip na uanguke mtaani, you know, in the house, just in the house, hata mtu asikugonge. So don't think of the negatives, you think of the positive. Identify a club. You can reach me. I think you guys will share my social media or anything. I can link them with the club that's nearest to them, and they can start from there. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Sinaida, and we welcome you anytime at Capital FM.
Thank you so much, Alex.
Well, that was Sinaida Aura, one of the greatest and outstanding players at the Africa Sevens Cup in Tunisia, where actually she is remembered by scoring that equalizer against South Africa. So she is saying that, yes, Kenya is going to qualify for the Africa, for the HSBC Sevens World Series some days to come. So, and South Africa have been warned that one day watapatikana.